Hello, it's Jill. I hate how I sound, but I'm going to do this for joy and for others. So, a couple of you wanted to know how to use the drive a little bit easier, and I know a lot others of you know how to use it way better than I do, but I thought I would just do this real quick so you can see, because I'm a visual learner, that it might be helpful to do that visually versus just written out. So, here I am in my email. I'm going to click over here to the drive. And when I am here now, I will be opened it up, and this is my drive. My drive. Inside my drive here, I've got a couple of different folders for some things that I needed to use. So I'm going to open up my Walt Disney World folder. This is just my stuff now. And see, I have some things just floating around here. But what I'm starting to do is to make subfolders for things that I find interesting, just because it will make it so much easier for us to find things when we want them. So what I'm going to show you first is how to create a new folder so that you can organize your drive before starting to take things from the agency's drive. So over here, I'm just going to right click, new folder, and we're going to call this one touring plans. And then it pops up there. If you really want to get cool, you can go right here and you can change the color to anything you want to have the color be, because I'm a colorful person, so I like them all to be fun colors. Anyway, so then once you're in here, you can just drag and drop, and this isn't going to actually fit there, but I'm going to just drag my folder, my file, and I'll just drop it into whatever folder it needs to go into, so that next time I can, it doesn't go there, next time I need it, I can go, oh look, there it is. And again, those don't actually make sense for touring plans, but you get the idea. So then up here, you're in your touring plans folder. I can click back to my Walt Disney World folder, or I can click back to just my drive. So here's all me. This is all my stuff. Once you've organized your drive, click over here by Shared with Me, and this is where you're going to see the Simply Enchanted stuff. This one right here is the first one that this is stuff we don't mess with. This is the vendors, the rewards request, commission reports, all those things. And we don't mess with those. That's just for our reference. But if we go back to the Shared with Me, in the editable documents, we now have all these folders that they've created for us. And down here are a couple things floating around that I don't know what they're all for, so I didn't want to mess with them. But what I've started doing, and I haven't done it to all of them, is I've started to organize our Walt Disney World. And so all of these things, there used to be a ton of files down here, and I've sort of helped or placed them in this category that they belong in now. So you can see here, this one's got information about packages and cancellation policies, tours and events like the Pirates and Pals and other things like that. Resorts, planning tools. Planning tools here are things like checklists, itineraries. Oops, FastPass needs to go somewhere else. And this is like the attraction survey that you can use that's a part of Google Forms, which maybe is a whole nother video. So I'm going to go back up here to planning tools, and these are things that you can upload information about planning tools. And I'll go back and move these to where they need to go. So these are just the different areas. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm curious what other people do as far as how do they do, tell their clients about where to meet characters. Oh, look, here I can go to Character Locator, and wow, there's this whole list, and I don't have to recreate the wheel. And you can save that. So let's look at how to get this file from our shared drive to your drive. So you're going to open them up, and depending on the type of file it's opened, it opens in different ways. So say it opens like this, you're just going to find this little icon here and click Add to My Drive. Then before you move away, because you want to stay organized, you're going to organize this file inside of My Drive. I'm going to put this file in my Disney World folder. Move it. So that will now be in my Disney World folder on my drive, but it also gets to stay here in our shared drive. So no more making copies of things unless it's in your drive, because we had like 6 copies of the FastPass file and all these other things. You don't need to make a copy of it in our shared drive. You need to move it to your drive and make a copy of it there, and then you can make edits. You don't want to edit this one because somebody else might need it. You can put it in your drive and edit it from there. Another thing is, if you don't want to save it to your drive, you can just go ahead and download. And I know this probably looks different on a Mac versus other things, but you can always just download this to your computer and save it to wherever it is you have things saved on your computer. So that might be an option for those of you who don't necessarily want to keep a drive organized. You can just borrow things here and save them right to your computer. So I'm going to go back here to our editable documents. And remember, right now I'm just working within Walt Disney World. Let's see what I was going to show you. I showed you how to add things to your drive, and then I'm going to show you how to upload things. So you say you're like, oh, hey, I know pin trading. I've got a really cool file to put in there, which is handy because there are no files in here. So when you're here, it says you're going to drop files here or use the new button. I just right click, upload files. Then my computer will give me my page to upload my files. And here I am in where I have my pin trading thing somewhere. Maybe it's back here. So here on my desktop, this is my computer's files now. I have pin trading. So I'm going to upload that to the shared drive so that now somebody else can go in and go, oh, hey, look at that. I don't have to figure out what to type up about pin trading because it's right here. Then you can share it to your own drive. And so what I'm noticing here is this is not the font that I had it in, because it was a special font that was just on my computer. So some of the formats and fonts and things may not show up right. So you can always, once you save it onto your drive or your computer, you can edit those and make them pretty if you want to make them pretty. So this is, I think, helpful. I hope it's helpful. And right here are this is the main page of our shared with me editable documents, non-editable. And there's a whole bunch of files down here that I'm going to try and organize a little bit. But feel free to help me out with that. The one thing I forgot that I meant to mention was down here in bookmarks and tags, because this is a biggie lately. Some people do bookmarks, some people do the tags, other formats and things. What I was thinking about doing is, and I put it in here, this is what I use. And so what I was going to do here is if you just click on the name of it, you can change the name. And I would love it if we upload our options and what we use is to put the name of the person at the beginning, so that when somebody comes in to look and they're like, oh, that's really cool, or hey, I like this one over here, then you can go back and you can look and say, oh, hey, that one was Jill's, or there's one down here somewhere that said Erica's on it. And then you can, if you had a question, you know who to go to ask the question to. I think that's all I was going to show you. I know there's some things about Google Forms that I use those a lot with asking, clients about what kinds of hopes and dreams do you have for your trip? What kinds of attractions do you want to use? I use them for online check-ins for cruises and things like that, and we can talk about that a little bit more, but this was the main thing, just because this way we'll be able to search for things based on what we want versus just looking at something like this and going, there's too many things and there's like 2 copies of everything and I'm so confused about everything. So that is hopefully helpful. All right, bye.